Hello, hello, hello. The Halloween season is over, and we are entering one of the funnest seasons, but we got to get through the worst holiday of all time, Thanksgiving. But that's okay. We are all thankful Chris Jericho didn't show up tonight. Anyway,
I thought you were going to say the worst holiday, Saturday night's main event. I'm like, harsh. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Uh-oh.
Yes, boy!
French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
We can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mark It Down podcast. I am James Gisanti, joined by an excellent hat-wearing Matt Cascone. I love those hats. I'm a sucker for those hats. We are here covering Saturday night's main event. Thankfully ended at a decent hour. So, we're sorry we're a little late getting to cover it, but it was just nice to be able to breathe a little bit,
Personally, I normally, 90% of the time I would agree with you on this, but since I was out for dinner, I would have liked to have it run later. That way I could kind of catch up, which I'm currently doing, but I am set to go to chat about some of the show and let you take care of the rest.
It ran from 7 to 9, so we're an hour, after the fact, and I think that's fine, guys. I think most of our lives go off at 10, so you'll be cool. But I agree with you. 8 to 10 felt like this would have been better for everybody involved. I
Saturday night plans, and you're like our age, and maybe you don't want to go out at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock after you've done a pod. But
I think the big thing is they didn't want to compete with Game 7.
Oh,
I think they were trying to be a little ahead of it, and there was definitely some overlap. But they got through most of the show without having to deal with Game 7 of the World Series. So
did they announce this time, was this a last minute switch? Do you think they were like, okay, let's wait until we see if we're going to get a Game 7 or not?
I wouldn't be shocked one way or the other. I can't remember the last time WWE has in advance, by a good margin, spoken about the time their shows start. We usually find out the weekend of or the week of lately. And, I'm not entirely sure, but they probably had all this planned out, and some they probably had some contingencies in place.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad it worked for you. Obviously, didn't really work for me, but we're working through it. And you can't please everybody all the time. So
no. But look, at the end of the day, it's Saturday Night Wrestling. It's never convenient for anybody. It's why, as good as Collision is, we don't really cover it here at the pod because, hey guys, shockingly, we do have lives outside of the pod.
Yeah. So I'm watching Cargill match right now. It's good. But let's talk about the first matchup of the night.
Well, let's go to this comment real quick from Logan. Logan, how you doing, pal? Hello. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Ricky Starks all holding titles in WWE would definitely feel like a big statement, almost like a shot at Tony Khan's former AEW talent. Personally, I don't really see it as a shot. What I'm seeing is that AEW cultivated such great talent that WWE was then able to essentially take as is and put titles on. CM Punk only came back to wrestling because of AEW. Cody Rhodes they took AEW Cody Rhodes and put the title on him. And Ricky Starks, I'm trying not to be a hater, but the dude traded it all to be the NXT mid-card guy, then main eventer at 35. I'm not ageist, but pal, you started over to start at the bottom. So
is he 35?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you thought younger or older?
I thought younger. I definitely thought between 30 and 35. I mean, Logan James, you didn't even mention Mariah May, her name being
Blake Monroe.
Yeah, she's a champion in NXT now. So it's crazy how, and we'll get into, there's a new champion tonight on on Main Event. We'll get to that. So the amount of ex-AEW talents that are now WWE/WWE NXT champions is crazy. I'm just shocked. Like, before you know it, I think we'll have Penta as a mid-card champ. And if not, definitely at some point, Penta and Phoenix will team up and become tag team champions. I just feel bad for Phoenix. I feel like he's tagging with someone random every
week. I know.
Like, it was
I agree
sometimes, but it's getting ridiculous.
I not to get too much into the weeds on something else here, but I gotta really agree with Meltzer on this one. It was always a good idea for Penta to go to WWE. He was always going to thrive there. He might not have been like a main event guy, but it's not like he was a main event guy. Well, you should have been watching. It's not like he was a main event guy in AEW either. Phoenix was never going to thrive the same way in WWE that he was thriving in AEW. It was just not in the cards for him. And it very much felt like this was a package deal kind of thing for Penta to go to WWE. He was only going to go if his brother came with him. But look, whatever. Everyone's allowed to govern their own career at their own leisure. But regardless of all that, we are going to get into it. We are going to start with the first match of the night, as the undisputed WWE Championship was on the line as Cody Rhodes defended against Drew McIntyre. Now, there was a special stipulation to this match, which was that if Cody got either DQ'd or counted out, he would still be able to lose the title, and the title would switch hands to Drew. That played a very big factor in this matchup. Drew, being the dastardly heel that he is, did everything in his power to manipulate Cody into getting DQ'd, whether it was through temptation and just offering Cody as many ways to get himself disqualified as possible, or doing whatever he could to sort of force Cody's hand and even accidentally get disqualified. Maybe accidentally putting hands on the referee, maybe being pushed and kept out of the ring via count out. So I thought that was a very well executed stipulation. I'm usually not a huge fan of it because it requires me to suspend some disbelief a little bit and pretend that, like, wow, this guy who never cheats in matches, this is going to be the time when he could lose everything. That's when he's going to decide, I'm going to hit that guy with a chair.
I mean, we've seen it, like, Christian back in the day, he beat Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship just by spitting on him.
But that's against a guy like Randy, who for fun would get himself disqualified back in the day. Yeah. This is Cody Rhodes, who is milquetoast Homelander.
Yeah, so I like the way they played it, even though you did say the suspension of disbelief. So that was cool. And the only thing I would say right off the bat, I was surprised this went first. It basically, for me, it meant that, okay, the World Heavyweight Championship, that match is going to go on last, which means we're either getting a decisive finish with a new champion, either Jey Uso or CM Punk, or maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a last minute substitution, yada, 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 or they are going to screw over the crowd in the go home match. Nuts. We haven't seen that on a big show. Like, this isn't a PLE, but it is a special. We haven't seen it in a pay-per-view / PLE since like Battleground 2015 or something. Like, it was when Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton were facing each other for the vacated WWE Championship, and Big Show came out and killed everyone.
Just ruined it for everybody.
That was like the worst pay-per-view ending we've had in quite some time.
I advocated. We spoke about this when we covered Raw. I was a big advocate for this belt to just be hilariously vacant until, God knows, maybe next year. But alas, that's not how it went.
Yeah.
What?
I second that.
Yeah. But regardless, we'll get to that match later. This one, for me, the hope was if Drew Cody wasn't main eventing, Drew had a real shot at winning. That was my thought process, because I love Drew and I'm a diehard Drew fan, but he's the bad guy. and the idea is to send the crowd home happy. So you'd imagine that Cody would win. So in my head, if this match isn't main eventing, that's where Drew could sneak his win in. Alas, that was not the case. Despite acting like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon villain, Drew was thwarted after having brought the championship into the ring in an effort to get Cody to use it. The referee was taken out of the equation. He was downed. Drew went to hit Cody with the championship himself. Cody ducked it. The belt fell. And Cody proceeds to hit a DDT onto the belt, knocking Drew a little loopy, then hits for all we know, the only crossroads. This was his only crossroads of the match, right?
What, the ending crossroads?
Yeah, the last crossroads was the only one.
Yeah, I know he hit 2 Cody cutters, and the first one was really weird. Like, it was an extra rotation, and it looked like Drew hit him with a deep 6. But now, like, Drew was the one that got hurt. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, that was rough. But being the first guy to lose to one crossroads in God knows how long, Drew goes down 1, 2, 3, and Cody Rhodes is still your undisputed WWE champion. I genuinely have issues with this because I don't understand why, if Drew wasn't going to win, this feud needed to continue. It should have ended at WrestlePalooza. To give you perspective, Matt, as I was doing the banners for this, as we on the bottom here, we have Undisputed Championship Cody versus Drew. What up, Maria? How you doing, girl? Hope you're having a good Saturday night. As I was doing this banner, this was exactly the banner from WrestlePalooza. I changed nothing. I literally changed nothing. So, and that was the last time we covered a WWE pay-per-view. So, gotta love it. I don't know how you can look at Drew and not feel like his stock hasn't plummeted.
You said he was 2-16 for like, out of his last 18 world title matches, he's only won 2 of them. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. And one of them was DQ.
Wow. That's terrible.
Yeah. So the night he won the belt at Mania, immediately losing it in the cash-in, and then I think has lost an additional 16.
It's nuts.
That's awful. And one of those wins, like I said, was DQ. So just awful. Just truly awful. And look, if this is Drew's prerogative that he signed because he wants to be in WWE and he wants the WWE money and he wants the WWE name, God bless. If you're cool being the fall villain, the fall guy villain, do it. If you're happy, be happy. But as a fan of Drew, this sucks. This absolutely sucks.
He needs some kind of side quest here. Like we talked about it before the pod. Could he go for the U.S. title? You know, that would make him a Grand Slam champion. That is a interesting prospect. We've seen it with guys who maybe don't have anything else to do. We saw it with Randy Orton at WrestleMania 34.
Yeah.
Well, he won it like the month before that, but like, you know what I'm saying? You know, like we've seen it with Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio. It's like, you know, they're so good. We can't really give them like the main title right now. What do we do? Okay, that's an interesting aspect. Have them get the Grand Slam championship.
I agree.
With a mid-card title win. And we've seen it with Sheamus. Like he's been on that road. So it's like, you do that with Drew. Does he find a unique tag team partner that, you know, again, that's experimental, and we're already doing that right now with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. So I don't think that's really the answer.
Especially on SmackDown's tag team title scene, where it's so competitive right now. It would almost be insulting to see Drew come in with a random tag team partner and win that belt. Because
almost like it's super hot. But again, that's like lightning, you know.
Yeah.
It's like hitting oil. You know what I'm saying? It's
no, absolutely.
Good luck.
Going back to the comments real quick, Maria saying she agrees 100%. Drew should have won. How do they keep jobbing Drew? The unfortunate reality is those 2 world titles have 2 very different meanings. The WWE title is their corporate title where they put that person on red carpets. They put that person on talk shows to promote the company. And the world title is the title that, you know, the wrestlers can win. And it's a shame, but they just don't see Drew as that guy. And I think that's ridiculous because of how good he is at everything he does. He's a beautiful man. He's I think
no
he's gorgeous.
disagreement. It's all good.
Yeah. He's a well-spoken talent. He knows how to cut. He's very well media trained. I think it's insane that they won't put him in that position. But what do I know?
think it's just the fact that they like you saw that WrestleMania promo video with the feet, like that they finally revealed to everyone's dismay. It's like it's not that they don't believe in Drew. It's just like, why would we put Drew in that position when we have Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and as far as popularity goes, maybe not the people they want to put in PR right now, particularly specifically, but you also got CM Punk and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Like, popularity wise do trump Drew McIntyre.
I think unfortunately there was a time where Drew could have been on that level, but COVID just ruined everything.
Yeah, no one was watching. Like,
no one was watching.
You couldn't go out and do those media, those media appearances.
It's a real shame. Just this last comment from Maria. Drew is starting to look like Wardlow. Ouch. That's all I have to say to that. Ouch. And Maria, that's to my point. Yeah, they did trust him enough to beat Brock Lesnar at Mania, but that was 5 years ago. Time is a bitch, but like that was 5 years ago. Gonna be 6.
And Lesnar's already got one up them since then. When Lesnar, like he came into a Rumble, I think like the next year or the year after, he eliminated Drew. And God, if they ever had a one-on-one match, like, I'm sorry, Drew's not winning that match.
Yeah, not now, not right now, and that breaks my heart to say, but it's true. He's just
not on those heavy shenanigans, and we're talking like complete shift of storytelling, storylines. Like he gets a faction. Paul Heyman, like, does something,
betrays Brock. Yeah,
you have to be huge.
Yeah. So, Drew, I hope you're happy with the decision you made. I support you with whatever you want to do, but as a Drew fan, God, would it have been nice to see you in AEW instead?
I want to say one more thing. He did take the one Crossroads, but he did take the DDT onto the belt. The belt before that. Yeah. So that's justifiable.
It is. It's just hard when you have Drew putting Cody through a table, hitting the Claymore, doing all of these things, and just not being able to win. Like, it screams like you're just not a winner.
I get that. On the flip side, it is bullshit. And then what was the other thing I was thinking? I think I lost it. Give me a second. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre. What was I going to say to you? Something nice, I hope. I disagree with you. The fact, I don't think him winning the first match of the night. I think it's like you want to go home on the biggest thing, and the biggest thing is like Cody Rhodes loses the corporate championship, the biggest title in this this company. He loses it to Drew McIntyre. Like, screw if the fans go home happy or not.
I get that to a point, but we also need to acknowledge. For me, I don't give a shit with the main event, but there are people who will forever be ride or die for Punk. So this was a huge moment for those people. Agree or disagree? Like, I'm not one of them.
Spoiler alert.
Like, I'm not hate. I mean, granted, if you didn't check the title, I am so sorry, guys. But like, at this point, you should know. But like, I'm not a Punk guy, but like, I can acknowledge how big a moment that was. Like, for those people, that's huge. But regardless, I get your point. I do. That would have been shocking in its own right, but disappointing for everyone else right now. Moving on, we had a quick backstage segment with Tiffany Stratton as she is met by general manager Nick Aldis. Was it Nick? Yeah, it was Nick. Yeah, I was thinking Adam Pearce for a second. But
no, it was Nick Aldis.
Yeah, it's Aldis. Aldis asks Tiffany if she really wants to go through with this match with Jade, who had attacked Tiffany a little over a week ago on SmackDown with her heel turn, having ambushed her after making the quote-unquote save. Tiffany says she's tired of everyone doubting her. She's tired of everyone questioning if she could do this. She wants to do this. She needs to do this, and she will do this. Good little babyface segment from Tiffany. Really highlights, the fighting spirit aspect of being champion, which I thought was a good play. for her. And yeah, I think this was a very. Are you still in the match, or did the match end?
I'm almost done with the Rusev. I'm almost done with the IC title match.
Oh, okay. So I can talk about
someone
this
just rang the bell. So yeah.
Okay,
so,
we can talk about this then.
Absolutely.
The WWE Women's Championship is on the line as Tiffany Stratton defends against Jade Cargill. Now, I thought this was a very smart match. We'll go back really quickly. Daniel Hernandez saying, I feel bad for anyone who thought Drew was going to win. Did I think he was going to win? No, because I've been burnt too many times. Should he have won? Absolutely. There is no reason this feud continued beyond what it did at WrestlePalooza if he wasn't going to win. It's just stupid. He's not a WWE title main eventer anymore. No one is until they are again. That's the thing. Like, if they put the title on him next week, he's going to get hot again. But they just decided he's a loser. He's a loser. He's at the top of the mid-card, bottom of the main event. It's a shame, but it's true. And Danny saying he's a World Heavyweight Championship upper mid-card guy. I was more or less alluding to that before. It's true. It's sad. But, hey, God willing, this contract isn't much longer, and then he could be all elite. I'd be very happy about that.
Drew Galloway.
Maria also saying one Crossroads should not have beaten Drew. As Matt pointed out before, it was protected by the championship DDT. You know, it was like a Crossroads plus.
It's like when Brock Lesnar hit Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania with the F5 in that terrible match, but he did it on chairs. So it's your finisher plus perks.
Danny saying he doesn't want him in AEW anymore. You're just wrong. Like, I get it, but you're just wrong. Like, the guy could absolutely get hot again. Danny also saying WWE has made him unappealing to me. I can't say why. Like, he loses, but like I can't say like anything about him has changed.
His promos are still great. He's still in great shape. His matches are still compelling. Like those matches he had against Damian Priest were really solid. And it's just like I feel bad for Damian Priest, who's also not really doing much. It's like you beat Drew McIntyre in a feud definitively, and like you can't even win a mid-card championship after that.
Eric saying he wants Drew, Styles, and Cena to all debut in the same night in AEW. Maria also saying she wants Drew in AEW, and I get it. Danny very passionately saying Drew is not AEW championship material. TNT title, sure. Hater. Real hater there. Dragoon saying can't wait for liberal hero MJF to beat CM Trump for the WWE title. Jesus Christ. What is this happening? Danny saying Eric is cooking. Hold on. And there's just some mild flirting in the chat that I'm not going to really get into. Anyway, the WWE Women's Championship on the line as Tiffany Stratton defends against Jade Cargill. I really like the story they told here, where Jade was like a shark who smelled blood in the water. She went after that knee that Tiffany was selling, that Tiffany had hurt as Jade had ambushed her a little over a week ago. It made Jade look very capable. It made Jade look very smart. It made her look like a hunter. And it gave Tiffany an out on losing. This has been a women's championship reign that has lasted over 300 days. So it shouldn't have ended as if it was nothing. There needed to be a level of importance to it. I don't know that I would have cheapened it the way they did, but it's not like Jade cheated in this match. She saw a weakness. She went after it. She capitalized, and it was enough for her to get the W. As Jade was just relentless. There were a couple of moments where it looked like Tiffany was trying to turn the tide. She hit a pretty sweet swanton bomb onto her. And did she land that prettiest moonsault ever, or did she just go for it?
I don't remember, to be honest.
I think she just went for it. I don't think she actually landed it. So really like a quick match, but a smart match as far as I'm concerned. I think everyone looked pretty good here. And it's shocking. Like, I'm looking at the time for this. This was a 5-minute and 30-second match.
Wow.
But at the same time, I think it accomplished everything it needed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
by the end of it, I wasn't like, that's it.
Yeah. Tiffany's title reign had grown stale for a lot of people because they never put any importance on it. She was just beating like what felt like mid-carders essentially the entire time. Or even if people
Trish Stratus, maybe.
Yeah. But even then, it's like a legend, you know, like that's not like storyline important for the most part.
Other people in this locker room have already done that. Like
exactly. Who hasn't beaten Trish Stratus at this point?
Charlotte,
Charlotte, Becky. Did Bianca or no? Bianca.
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Yeah.
But still, they stand out.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny saying Jade should have won a while ago, but Tiffany is going to be like Priest and be better off now that the title reign is over. I cannot say that Priest is better off right now. This guy is losing to Karrion Kross Light. Do you know how much that sucks? Aleister Black is like feels less natural in a gimmick than Karrion Kross. We're in the upside down.
Yeah, and both Aleister Black and Rusev have lost more matches since they returned to WWE than they did in their entire AEW careers, which is insane.
We
got the ex AEW guys with the WWE titles, but then we have Rusev and Aleister Black and Andrade, the three forgotten sons. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the forgotten sons. Let's go to the comments real quick. Jade going heel is solid for her. Tiffany needed to drop the title. Shit works out. I agree. I think this is a net positive. Absolutely, this is a net positive. Maria saying finally Tiffy time expired. She had enough of her. Damn, Maria. Damn. Be passionate, girl. Be passionate. Daniel Hernandez saying, remember when Tiffany used to be a baller?
Baller.
Yeah, NXT, sure. NXT. Dragoon saying Jade should be a monster who works shorter matches more than often. I think the reality is she works shorter matches because she's the equivalent of Goldberg. She will thrive in short matches because they'll be explosive, they'll have good spots, but she just can't really work that long a match. And that's not a knock on her. It's just that's what her style is unfortunately going to be. Eric saying we beat to Trish. Oh my God. This is why I got to read the comments before I say them out loud. Damn it. You got me there, Eric. You did. Daniel saying no, but remember when Priest lost the title and both of us said he felt like more of a main eventer after the reign than during it? Sure, that's absolutely true. But I'd say Tiffany was like pretty much like it always felt like Tiffany was going to be a main eventer. Priest, it was like, wow, this title reign that so many people didn't even really want in the first place actually transformed him. Tiffany, this was just a stepping stone. I don't know definitively that Priest is ever going to win a world title again. I do know Tiffy is going to have her time again.
Yeah, and you got to remember that we did agree with that with Priest. I remember specifically.
Yeah,
Priest has lost the title over a year now.
Yeah,
it's like time has passed, and I think he kind of was in the best position, like as far as recovery, when he beat Drew McIntyre in that trilogy of matches that I just mentioned earlier on this pod. But even that was like at like the beginning of the summer, and now we're in the middle of the fall and he's not in a great spot.
Yeah,
you're right. Tiffany will absolutely, there's no reason to think that she won't win a women's world title again. And we talked about it last year that I specifically, not last year, but the year before that, like she shouldn't have won Money in the Bank because she was like basically already in, you know, she was being geared up for title contention for the title picture. She didn't need Money in the Bank to win a women's world title. I
agree. Let's just a lot of comments here. So
all right,
Danny saying that's what he
means. Did we do this one yet on?
Hold on, I don't think so yet. We'll get to it. Dragoon asking, did Aleister fucking lose? No, Aleister wasn't even on the card, but the problem is he now feels like, now that they've paired Zelina up with him, it very much feels like they're trying to emulate the Cross Scarlet thing, and it just does not feel natural for the two of them. Like, Zelina looks lost. Well, granted, it's only a couple weeks in. I'm not going to be super critical, but it just does not feel like it gels the way it did with the other two. Maria saying Aleister Black is way better than Damian Priest. Probably objectively true, probably, but if I'm going to be real with you, I'm a bigger Priest fan than I am an Aleister fan. Like, he's a guy that I understand why he's as popular as he is. He just never really clicked with me the way he clicked with so many other people. But
I was shocked he got the NXT title, to be honest. Like, I didn't see that coming. I was kind of like, what?
I saw it coming. It was just not something I was hyped for. You know, like, it's like, of course this guy's going to win it because he's gotten so over with the crowd, but it's just not, I didn't care.
He's just not your guy. That's okay.
Yeah, he's just not my guy. Dragoon saying, yeah, but Jade is hot, so she can get away with it. I mean, 5 minutes with Jade feels like, anyway.
Just like she got away with that Spirit Halloween Punisher costume last night for Halloween. It's like, yeah, I've seen you and 5 other women dressed like that tonight. Like, it's a fine costume, even though Punisher never wore it. And all your costumes in AEW were way better and custom.
I hope Dragoon comments on this because I know he's very passionate about Punisher. Maria saying Bianca is taking that title from Jade. I think so too. I think it's a matter of when, not if. I want to see how long this title reign is going to be for Jade. Like, we'll see.
I definitely think the title reign was too long. Like, I'm all for, not having the challenger win the first time around. And I think it's more interesting with Jade as a heel. But like, this is something they could have done in September. I'm not sure.
I agree. Yeah, no, 100%.
Like, 1 month after SummerSlam, do the rematch, do the heel turn. People were like raving about the heel turn last year. I'm like, it was fine. It was pretty standard. There was nothing wrong with it, but it wasn't like mind blowing.
Yeah. Dragoon saying he thinks more women should wear that costume. Okay.
She looked very good. I'm just saying her AEW attires, like, the She-Hulk, the James is so mad for me listing these.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm quite honestly, I'm proud because you figured out a way to get it in. We had talked about it, but you figured it out. So good for you.
And then what was the third one? She did Storm. Yeah. Like, amazing custom wrestling attires. And like last night, she was just wearing a $50 Punisher costume that anyone can buy that she looked great in, but it was just like, you could stand next to 5 other women right now. All the baddies could have been wearing that costume. Y'all would have looked the same. It would have been like, whatever.
Matt, I'm sorry, but I got to do this. Daniel saying Matt judging people for their cosplays while Matt is cosplaying as Sami Zayn right now. Honestly, you kind of are, dude. Like, glad Matt is an ally. Going back to other comments, Eric, I'm glad I made you laugh. Lots of comments on that. Why are you guys talking about Priest? Well, you brought him up. Stop comparing Aleister Black to Cross. Aleister is a loser now, but he ain't Cross levels of loser. Give it time. Eric saying the similarities kind of explain Cross missing in a way, though. He isn't as good as Aleister. We'll see. Aleister could very easily, and I think he was by the end of his WWE run, and definitely during AEW, his promos suffer from the Bray Wyatt thing of like, he says what he's saying very cool, but nobody's retaining what the fuck he's saying. Like, it doesn't matter what he says.
At least Cross was like interesting the way he would spin stuff. I'm like, you're a fucking loser, but like somehow I'm buying into whatever you're saying.
Yeah. No, I agree. Eric saying, wait, they gave the title to Jade? This show stinks. You're a liar. You were the biggest Jade stan I had ever seen.
You dirty liar.
Danny saying that Sammy dance is the smoothest thing Matt has ever done. Clip that.
You're not
that's a
skipping
compliment.
that. I can do that like next week for real. Like I can do it with the Sammys with the El Generico mask and like
I think if you do it purposely, it doesn't have the same effect. But we'll check in post. We'll talk later.
if I wasn't shaking the camera because the computer's on my lap, then maybe. But no, we can do it again in a similar fashion, like when you least expect it.
Cross literally uses Twitter talking points. What do you mean? Hey, I mean he uses them successfully. Undeniably, like it was not real. It was super manufactured. It was super like almost industry plant with Cross, but like undeniably, when he was still there, people were, digging him. It's not LA Knight levels. It's not anything important that once he was gone, people are still chanting his name like CM Punk. But like, let's not pretend that he wasn't getting himself over, no matter how he did it.
Again, the most like merch sold. Like he had the
Yep.
number one merch, sales.
Even if it was ironically, he did it. Fernando, what up, Fernando? How you doing, pal? And last comment for now before we move on. Dragoon saying he thinks Eric should do the Sammy dance.
Eric doesn't do anything here.
No comment. We do love you though, Eric. Moving on, we then go to the WWE Intercontinental Championship triple threat match as Dirty Dominic Mysterio defended against Rusev and Penta, a result of what happened on Monday night as he interfered in the number one contenders match. Oh no, he had El Grande Americano interfere in the number one contenders match, resulting in this triple threat. I thought this was fun.
Yeah.
Are you still in it? Or are you just finished?
No, I'm up to the main event. What just happened? Post Malone's really digging the main event. Like you just see Post Malone in the background, like, yeah. And I'm like, we need more celebrities at wrestling shows like Post Malone.
Hey, they had Pauly Shore. Relax. Like,
yes, relax. I got a huge laugh out of Pauly Shore.
But yeah, this triple threat was fun as we saw both Rusev and Penta focus on Dom a bit. Definitely letting out some aggression, definitely letting out some pent up frustration onto Dirty Dom. And Dom is just, I'm loving everything he does. And I say this as someone who was slow to hop on the Dom train. Like, it took me a while to see what everyone else was starting to see. I thought it was a meme at first, but the reality is the kid really gets it. Like, I adored Matt. I loved the bit in the match where he tries doing the Eddie and getting Rusev disqualified with the chair by banging the chair on the mat, throwing the chair to Rusev while the ref isn't looking. And then the ref comes back and he's like, it's a triple threat. There's no disqualification. And then Rusev just obliterates him with a chair. I thought that was incredible because it shows he's an idiot, but he's hilarious.
Yeah.
It is so funny. So I am all in on this kid. Eric would always say, jokingly or not, he wants him to like win the world title like yesterday. He wants him to retire this guy, and this guy. I'm kind of here for it now. If I'm going to be real, I'm kind of here for it now.
I think someday in the future, a great triple threat for the world title would be Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, they feel like the true like heads of the future.
Yeah.
Like the faces of the future. I completely agree.
And like Dom's the total X factor there because I feel like Braun and Jacob be trying to have like this hard hitting 5-star match, and then Dom would just be there fucking shit up for them and like just making everyone laugh.
I will say Danny came up with a good alternative to Jacob, who we love here, but this is a good Oba. Him, Braun, Oba. Let's get the show on the road. That's a good pick. I'm a huge Oba guy. I am a huge Oba guy. But hey, the more the merrier. Fatal 4-way. We've only had one Fatal 4-way in WWE WrestleMania main event history. Okay? We could have another. We absolutely could have another. As the back and forth continued between all three men trying to get their stuff in, the match culminates with Rusev locking in the accolade onto Penta. And then all of a sudden the bell rings. But alas, despite Rusev's confusion, Penta had not tapped. The ref did not call the match. It was Dirty Dom who had banged on the bell himself with the hammer. Rusev was furious. They get in the ring. Who hits who with the hammer?
I don't remember that part. I think we started here, and so I was kind of like a little distracted.
Back and forth. Dom hits Penta with the hammer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Rusev. No, I'm sorry. Rusev had grabbed the hammer. He hits Penta in the head accidentally, meaning to hit Dom. Dom dispatches of Rusev very quickly, throws him out, and then Dom hits the frog splash onto Penta. 1, 2, 3, title retained. No, he hits the frog splash onto Rusev. Guys,
yeah, I was going to say Rusev definitely got pinned.
No, he pinned Rusev, not Penta. My bad, guys. I flipped that, reversed it, all that other stuff in the song. But regardless, Dom is still your Intercontinental Champion. This was the right move. This was not the match to take the title off him. He is a double champion right now across 2 companies. That's huge. Capitalize on this while the crowd is so into him. Loved it. Love this match. Fernando saying Penta should have won the IC championship. Look, his time's coming. He is absolutely going to win the IC title. It's just not right now. Dom is at his highest. We got to let him fly a little bit. And when Penta wins it, it should be on a bigger stage than Saturday night's main event. And it should be in a match, a one-on-one match between the two.
It could even be in like a AAA match, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's something big for Mexico.
Yeah, 100%. Dragoon really cheering for Mysterio here. Yeah, no, Dan, we said this before you joined us. Dan saying, look, I won't ever say Penta made a mistake going to WWE. He didn't. His brother, though. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Fenix should have absolutely stayed in AEW. Penta made the right move by going to WWE because it's clear they see him as a singles guy. They see the potential in him as a singles guy. But yeah, I feel real bad for Fenix here. Dragoon saying, Dominic, the future of WWE. Fucking love the dude. I don't blame you. Dan saying, come on, man. He's literally the present. Dragoon saying he's doing great right now. Can't wait to see how far he goes. I truly think a WrestleMania main event is in Dom's future. Like, I think it's 100% possible. Dan saying, let's get the ball rolling, going back to him, Braun, and Oba, but I'll throw in, what's his name, Jacob as well. Dragoon saying, praying Dragunov is also in that future discussion, but I'm also delusional. Look, I'm rooting for him. I'm very happy with where he is right now, having won the U.S. title. He's just going to have banger after banger because that just seems to be what happens when you win the U.S. title. So rooting for him. Dan saying they can't be the future until they're 35 plus, apparently. That AJ Styles stat from Monday really broke my brain.
Yeah, that one's nuts.
Yep. Dan saying, imagine having a young world champ in modern WWE. That'd be crazy. It's a pipe dream. Or a Piper dream. Dan saying Dragunov is going to be an amazing 5 to 6 time IC US champ. Jordan, don't worry. Just doxed him. Penta hit Rusev. I didn't even watch the show. Come on. We did watch the show. There's a lot of stuff I needed to deal with and cover. Dragunov is going to be a world champion in another company. Yeah, TNA for sure. Damn it, Danny. Don't say that. I don't want Dragunov in TNA.
I love that these guys have all this time to comment, but they can't actually get on the pod and
yeah. I don't think they actually watch, so I don't blame them. Dan saying way too much not right now going on in this company. I agree. I actually really do agree with that. Unless you're in the women's division. Dragoon saying, even if Dragunov does go to TNA, he's still in WWE. Don't worry. Damn it. That really hurt me. Anyway, thanks, guys. That was actually a lot of fun. Fun matchup, fun triple threat, and a good match for Saturday night's main event. We then go to John Cena's announcement, his final opponent announcement.
Was this pre-tape? I skipped it.
Yeah, this was pre-tape. This was a vignette. They had hyped up that Cena's got a big interview happening this week where he's going to really talk about the end of his career. They gave us
doing that in New York.
No, it happened already.
Ah, okay.
The interview happened already. It was a sit down interview in a studio. He got candid where he said, like, look, I will not be coming back after my final match. I made a promise to WWE and everybody that the moment I can't keep up with people and I can't keep up with the product is the moment that I'm going to turn. I got to leave, and that time is now. And I made that promise, and I don't plan on breaking it. But going to the final opponent announcement, John announces that there will be a tournament starting a week from Monday in Boston, starting in Boston, a 16-man tournament that the winner will face John at Saturday night's main event, December 13th in DC. He teased that it will have Raw stars, SmackDown stars, NXT stars, and maybe some people who don't work for WWE. Now, fuck WWE because they know people are going to think Edge. What is really going to happen is Jericho is going to be in the tournament.
Oh, yeah, that's bullshit.
It's going to be Jericho, and I don't know what Hendry counts as, but it's going to be a TNA guy. It maybe Hendry, but I don't want Santana in this. I don't know what other TNA guy I would care about in it.
I kind of like it, but at the same time, it means are we not? I guess we're not. He's just having one more match, and there's nothing at Survivor Series. There's nothing at.
Well, that's not necessarily true. He could theoretically have a match at Survivor Series or MSG, or theoretically even in Boston. But the idea is it's the honor of being Cena's last.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because I mean, I've said it multiple times on our chat. I don't think I've said it on the pod yet, but I want, I don't want to see some guys get matches. I don't want Theory. I don't want
I agree.
Solo. I don't want Miz, but I would love for Miz to come out and do his John Cena. Did I do this on the pod yet or no?
I don't know if you did it on the pod, but we definitely talked about it. But go for it.
Multiple times. So I'll just say it real quick on the pod. I would love for the Miz to John Cena's. This would either happen in Boston or New York, or hell, they could even do it at Survivor Series. Any of the three. John Cena's music hits. My time is now. Dun, 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 dun. It ends up being the Miz and the John Cena cosplay that he did so well when they had their mixed tag team match at WrestleMania. John Cena and Nikki Bella versus the Miz and Maurice. If you don't know, the whole build up to that was amazing. With specifically Miz and Maurice being cosplaying as John Cena and Nikki Bella. Scratch out Nikki Bella now. So the Miz comes out as John Cena. I think this would work best in Boston. The crowd pissed. Doesn't matter where it is. The crowd is pissed. He runs down John Cena. He does his whole shtick. He's mad he didn't get a match. Then John Cena actually comes out. Oh, we got some comments.
We'll deal with it.
Oh, God.
Keep going.
F them. F you guys. You can't even show up to the pod. Preferably, John Cena comes out preferably to Doctor of Thugonomics and just has a confrontation with Miz where basically he just, he hits him with the FU, the attitude adjustment. End of fantasy booking, end of segment. There you go.
I think it would be fun if you see Miz putting on a big stink about not even being allowed to be in the tournament.
That's great. That's a great. Yeah.
So we'll see. But Miz is such a big part of Cena's history, as weird as it seems. Cena's a bigger part of Miz's history than Miz is Cena's history. But they have 2 WrestleMania matches together. So that's something.
One's a main event for the WWE Championship. It doesn't get any bigger than that.
Exactly. Going to the comments real quick. Dan says you made a good point. I don't remember what that was for, so I apologize. LA Knight, the longest reigning, not right now champion. It hurts, but it's true. Dan saying, imagine being a loser in the tournament to be Cena's last match. Yeah. Dragoon saying either Edge or Jericho. It's not going to be Edge, which is why this sucks that they're teasing it, because it's all people are going to be saying on Twitter for the next week and a half. and it sucks.
And I don't want to see either of those guys in a tournament. I would like to. I don't actually want to see Jericho versus Cena, but either of those guys, if they're going to be either the last match or one of John Cena's last matches before he leaves WWE, I would want it to be a surprise. Be like, I want a challenger who I haven't faced yet, but I've faced in the past, something along those lines. Like make the parameters.
So John said in this vignette, it's going to be people from his past, people he's never faced before, and people who are stars of now. So, like, we're going to see some familiar names in there. We're going to see some people he's never wrestled. Like, in the vignette, you see Gunther, you see Dominic Mysterio, you see, I don't think Miz was in the vignette.
Like, Ray would be a great person for this tournament. I think he's just about...
And Ray, the entire match is Ray just low-blowing Cena for that title change that happened, and honestly, Ray would be justified.
I thought you were referencing the fact way back. We're talking about the Thursday night UPN Paul Heyman booked days where John Cena low blows Rey Mysterio when he does the pop off the top rope. And John just catches him like.
Well, so fun fact, by the way, about Jericho versus Cena. Jericho was Cena's first pay-per-view opponent.
Yes.
So there is, unfortunately, like a full circle there. And Cena was very clear. He said he even started the promo with the vignette saying, people have been asking me since I made the announcement about my retirement, who is going to be my last opponent? And he said, the same thing I said then is what I'm going to say now. I want to face somebody on my last night, somebody who steps up the way I did on my first night with the ruthless aggression against Angle.
Even though that didn't pan out, but whatever, you know.
I'm not saying, no, he's not saying Kurt specifically, but he's saying, like, I debuted against Kurt Angle because I stepped up ruthless aggression, and I want somebody to do that to me on my last night. So, we'll see. Dan saying it's Joe Hendry. Good new Twitter tag for you there, Dragoon. The last match to cap off an all-time 4 out of 10. Fuck you. Dragoon commenting on how much it is to get those seats. $424 for nosebleed seats. Yeah, that's a bummer. Dan saying he would take 10 more years of Cena if it meant literally no more Miz ever again. Jesus Christ. Dragoon saying, I thought Sami Zayn was supposed to be a pleasant dude. Why is he so... Jeez. Sorry we're here commenting, showing support. I appreciate you. James, do you want to go to Six Flags tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Sunday?
Should have gone today. Today was fourth ropes. The heels have eyes. I wanted to go, but I thought that was plans.
I thought that was Thursday.
It got delayed because it's Six
the
Flags.
Weather.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was tonight. If you guys were there or heard anything, let us know how it went. I know Tim Han Rivera from Subway Mania was there, and Macho Verse were there. I've been meaning to talk to them. I just didn't get to talk to them today yet. So.
Dragoon saying sorry, he was out saving kittens from trees that were on fire and not watching the show. Oh, Dragoon, you're taking kittens in? You want to talk about that? You want to talk about that real quick, pal? Getting some inside baseball there. Sorry, Matt. Dan saying sorry. No, I don't have the emotional capacity to deal with this right now. Dan saying sorry, he had to walk home from West Farm Square because some loser needed medical attention at the station. Maria saying a tournament for a next championship, but to take on a person is stupid. I understand what they're going for here. I really kind of think a battle royal would have been better than a tournament.
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to suggest it because just what was like 2 weeks ago where I'm like, I like battle royals.
Yeah. I think a battle royal would have been better here, but the only good thing I could say from the tournament is that it's 16 guys. So that means 16 guys are going to have matches at least once. And it's a good way of getting some people some exposure. So that's my only thing there.
If Andrade's in it, I will lose it.
Oh, I would die. I would die. I literally watched Danny save 5 orphans today instead of watching the show. Fuck you. We then had to stop Eric from stealing Christmas from Whoville. The Hills Have Eyes is pretty good. I like the remake a lot better. That was at James, by the way. I don't know what the fuck you. Since you're both bearded, James somewhat less so. I shaved for Comic-Con. Dan saying, I almost tune out my surroundings at Six Flags because I go there all the time. I believe it. Not with Eric or James, though. They always say no to me. You ask a day, it's 11 o'clock the day before. Fernando saying, I'm losing $30 on this. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. 300, buddy, I'm so sorry, dude. I am so sorry.
That's chump change for James.
Anyway, Dragoon flirting with Danny again. And anyway, moving on. So, yeah, lots of excitement as we move on to what will be the final leg of Cena's retirement tour. We have, I believe, 4 dates left still. Survivor Series, MSG, Boston, and DC.
Not in that order.
Not in that order. Moving on to our main event. We have the World Heavyweight Championship.
It's Boston, MSG, San Diego, then the final appearance, Washington, DC. Like you said, the main event. Go ahead.
Yeah. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line as it was vacated by Seth Rollins after lots of shenanigans, lots of different factors leading to this matchup. We have Jey Uso taking on CM Punk. I was not surprised by the outcome. I was surprised by the lack of anything else going on.
Yeah.
This was a pretty standard back and forth matchup between these guys. Both men hitting their signature spots, both men hitting their finishing spots at a few different points. Match looked like it was going to end not early, but earlier than expected, as Punk had hit a GTS onto Jey, who wisely, or I guess luckily, fell out of the ring. Punk looked devastated at that outcome, going out of the ring, getting a bottle of water, doing everything he could to wake Jey up to get him back into the ring. Jey doing his best to take advantage of certain spots, hitting a big spear, hitting the Uso splash, only getting the 2 count. Finish of the match coming as Punk had locked in the Anaconda Vice, wrapped it on him twice before Jey countered into a sleeper of some sort. A sleeper he's hitting on Matt as well with that yawn. Punk is able to eventually break out of it, hit the GTS. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk is our new World Heavyweight Champion, 7-time champion in WWE. Again, not shocked at the outcome, not shocked at Punk winning the title, but with so much going on outside of the match, with Division having their issues and being very upset at the result, with LA Knight somehow just being a perennial not right now champion, as Dragoon put him. I thought there were so many instances where interference was almost bound to happen or something happening after the match, but no, it was just a straightforward celebration as CM Punk celebrated. And commentary even acknowledged the fact that there was no Seth Rollins. There was nobody here to spoil the good times, spoil the mood of CM Punk, almost feeling like, yeah, nobody's here to do it. And then somebody does it. That would have been perfect.
Yeah. It's like, I spoke too soon, Michael Cole.
Exactly. It felt like a weird setup for something that was never happening. And objectively, I am happy for Punk, and I'm more happy for Punk's fans who are finally going to get this title run. And I think realistically, I'm happiest for Jey. If Jey had won this title, people were going to be pretty upset. I know the internet is not the entire wrestling community. And I know that wrestling fans are still very, very into Jey. At the very least, they're still very into Yeeting and his entrance and everything. But there has been a slight tide turning when it comes to Jey. And as this crowd pointed out, they were very split between Jey and Punk. So I think it was the right move to have Punk win. As it is, this match was initially supposed to be Punk versus Rollins in the first place. So that makes you question whether or not Punk was going to beat Rollins. But regardless, we are now entering the fall of Punk, the autumn of Punk.
Autumn.
And,
autumn.
Yeah, the fall makes it sound negative.
Yeah, I was like, where's he going with this?
Yeah, we're now entering the autumn of Punk, and good for him. You know, I don't have it in me to be a hater anymore, but I'm definitely not a lover. And it'll be interesting to see what comes next. It feels like Braun Breaker is right on his tail, especially after having beaten LA Knight on Monday. So we're probably going to get Braun versus Punk sooner than later. And God help me, I wouldn't be mad at Braun beating him.
I mean, he would be that young champion we've been looking for.
Yep. So time will tell. Fernando, I'm happy for you. We'll just finish up with the comments real quick. A lot of them just being flirty. Dan saying he wishes Jey Uso had won, and he hates Jey Uso, but it would have been funnier. And it probably would have been funnier. Dragoon saying LA Knight lost for this, and that is very true and very sad. Dan saying this is a mid-card title anyway, so who cares?
Brutal.
Dan saying yeeting is just a lateral raise, so it's pretty decent exercise. It is. I get, like, after the shoulder surgery, it feels like a good exercise.
Just remember to do both hands. Don't do what Jey does when he has like the title in one hand and he decides to do it with the other hand. It's like, no, stop.
Yeah. Safety. Yeet for boulder shoulders. Good endorsement there from Danny. Dragoon saying, I'm pretty sure the Vision is coming back with heat. I think Braun is going to spear right through him on Monday. Win or lose the match, I think he's spearing right through him on Monday. Dan saying that Braun should have won the title now. I think that would have been a good play, but let him have a good coronation, not on Saturday night's main event. I don't know why we're treating this like it's a real pay-per-view. It's not. Saturday night's main event is a glorified house show. But I agree. Dan saying just do anything new and exciting. I agree. They're desperate for fresh faces in the main event. Dragoon saying, I think the Vision is going to strike with an extra person in the mix, and it's a big addition. As long as it's not Brock. But granted, we got Bronson, we got Braun. Brock just feels like the next reasonable bruh to join the team.
Bro.
Oh God, no, that's how we get Cardona. Or worse, Mojo Rawley. Fernando saying that the Dodgers just tied, $300 still safe. Good for you, pal. Rooting for you. Although I think I'm rooting for the Blue Jays. Dan saying, well, Braun has to fail 2 or 3 times before he could win the big one, apparently. That is apparently the route. If you're not Brock Lesnar, that is the route. Thanks, Dad. The Dodgers just tied it up, top of the 9th, 4-4. Thank you, Papa G. Maria saying LA Knight should have been in this match and won the title. Quite frankly, yeah, I would have been okay with it.
We talked about it on Monday. It's a shame they already did the triple threat match because I think that would have been way more interesting. LA Knight, Jey Uso, and CM Punk, and having LA Knight win.
Buddy, Dragoon. My dumbass crackpot theory are those vignettes are for the Vision. Last dude shown in those was some dude wearing cowboy boots and jeans, looked like Lesnar. I don't know how to tell you this, pal, but those vignettes have already been revealed. It was a WrestleMania teaser. Brock is in it, but so is Roman, so is Punk, so is Cody, and of course, you can't have a WrestleMania vignette without Triple H being front and center. So sorry. Dan saying you can still do it on Saturday night's main event because we can't always drag those things out until SummerSlam or WrestleMania. I agree, but there's a Survivor Series, there's a Royal Rumble, there WrestlePalooza that we're supposed to be believing that this is the next big event, whatever.
There are legitimate PLEs, and like James says, Saturday night main event is kind of a glorified house show. It's also bizarre. I don't get it how, like, okay, we're moving to ESPN. Now you have to spend $30 a month for PLEs, but all the WWE content is still on Peacock, and so is Saturday night's main event. I'm like, I don't get it. I feel like an old man yelling.
All I know is I need at least 3 different fucking streaming services to watch everything.
Yeah,
It's
Raw,
ridiculous.
Netflix, Peacock, ESPN.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. No, but like again, WrestlePalooza. If you're making me believe that this is your new big show, have something big happen on it.
Yeah, that the WrestlePalooza is where Jade Cargill should have won against Tiffany Stratton.
Yep. Dragoon saying, I don't watch this shit. I just saw people post the vignettes and say they teased an advertisement. No, it was I had this conversation with Matt last week before we realized what it was. I was like, I'm not going to allow myself to get hyped over something that is probably just going to let me down. And that's exactly what was going to happen. So don't worry. Everybody got fooled.
I was just making feet jokes.
Yeah. Now, yes, Papa G from Dragoon. Thank you, Papa. I'll give that $2 directly to Papa G. I feel like that's fair.
But yeah, the feet thing, it was like, it's just classic WWE. They're carny bullshit. Yep. That's what it was.
But guys, look, it's Saturday night still. We're going to end this before it hits Sunday morning. We appreciate all of you. Danny having zelled the $2. We appreciate all of you joining us this fine Saturday night. Saturday night's main event was fun. It was a fun little 2-hour show. We had some changes. We have 2 new champions, 2 former AEW talent winning championships tonight in Jade Cargill and CM Punk. Dominic Mysterio continues his rise to the top. And yeah, I had fun. I almost said Eric. Matt, you were able to watch the show pretty quickly, so that's cool. And any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Punk's spear was awful. Like they did each other's finishing moves. Jey Uso hit a very solid GTS. Punk just hit the shittiest spear I've ever seen. Like he can't do the buckshot lariat. He can't do the spear.
Yeah, stop doing other people's moves. Absolutely. Stop doing other people's moves. Guys,
maybe like the rock bottom and the attitude adjustment. Like that's it.
Yeah. Hold on one second. I had to deal with something real quick. I'm so sorry. I got taken out by a comment. I got rid of it, so you can't even see it. Yeah. I agree. The rock bottom, and even then, that was because he used to hit it to set up the Anaconda Vice.
That's true.
But guys, I'm James Gisanti. This is Matt Cascone. The next time you'll see us is maybe Monday for Monday Night Raw. Definitely. What up, Nas? Thank you for joining us here at the tail end of the show. We're sorry we missed you, but we always love having you here, pal. I don't know if you got to watch any wrestling, but hope you did. And if you did, I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Thursday, God knows if TNA is back. We'll see. The dumbest move a company has ever pulled off, in my opinion. 3 weeks in a row, Matt. No new content after their biggest show of the year. Mind-boggling.
Nuts.
Mind-boggling. Other than that, as you know, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Matt's Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on. There you go. Check us out. The banner's at the bottom. We're on X. We're on Blue Sky. I think I mentioned all of them. But yeah, guys, like I said, I'm James Gisanti. I'm joined by Matt Casco, and we had a lot of fun. Go watch wrestling, go to bed, and prepare for the turkey apocalypse. Have a good night, everybody.